in Europe. So this time around, Nigeria has drifted into monarchical system of government. Authoritatively, he is giving order as if he's a military man. He is the one that invited the military now. What if they actually come and confront Asurok and make sure that they sack everybody? Tinubu is more or less an authoritarian. Authoritarianism is the kind of system Tinubu runs.
See, and sack the northern governor. What's your take on this?
I think it is the right time Tinubu should, do something, especially about Benue, especially Katsina. I don't know whether you know the spate of kidnappings and killings going on in the north. The situation whereby the clergies, reverend fathers and so on and so forth, pastors were being, slain on daily basis. The life over there is the most dangerous in the recent time. For 10 years now, straight, the insurgents, terrorists, bandits, have been killing people in Zamfara, northeast, Yobe, Macham tribe in Adamawa. A whole community were sacked, killed, massacre, genocide going on in northern states. Over the years, we've seen how Hausa militias and the Fulani militias were fighting in the forest of Zamfara. And it is still going on now. BBC carrying it live. And federal government question BBC. Why? Because they are showing the whole world what is going on in Nigeria. And as this bloodlet continued, going on and on in the north, Tinubu administration, Buhari administration has not been able to declare state of emergency. But all of a sudden, Tinubu, raised to Rivers State, removed a democratically elected governor who was elected the way he was elected at Asurok. If you ask me, I will tell that it is uncalled for. It is illegal. It is unconstitutional. Tinubu is not supposed to at least suspend a presiding governor.
Can you do it to another governor?
He can never do it to another governor. He's a Yoruba man now. Tinubu is a coward. He could only do that to injure people. They actually know that those ones, they don't have strength. I don't understand. They are very soft people. That's why he actually when they undo it. Tinubu cannot do it in the north. For where? Bala Mohammed. Tinubu is afraid of the north because he know that they have blood eye shots. Yes, they have bloody head. They don't care. So that's why Tinubu could just go and do it to people that he actually knows he can control. So if you listen to my analysis most of the times, I will actually tell you that he doesn't have the clue to be a good leader. Tinubu is more or less an authoritarian. Authoritarianism is the kind of system Tinubu runs. If you look at how he has been over the years hailed, Tuale, not even esprit de corps, Tuale, all this monarchical system is, royalties in his blood. Because people in the southwest has been dobaling, prostrating, kabiesi. And they actually, used that kind of vein. When he was Lagos State Governor, now he's using that kind of vein at Asurok. Because if you don't dobale, if you don't kabiesi, his administration will mess you. Look at what happened to Ngalale. Ngalale's sack. Does that young man deserve sack? No. Because dobale, tuale, kabiesi isn't in his vein. So Tinubu has to sack him. Tinubu is running the kind of dictatorial government you can only have in those days when we have institution of monarchy in Europe. So this time around, Nigeria has drifted into monarchical system of government. Authoritatively, he is giving order as if he's a military man. He is the one that invited the military now. What if they actually come and confront Asurok and make sure that they sack everybody? People will start galvating, shouting, military junta, blah, blah, blah. He's the one that invited military operation in Rivers State, which is uncalled for, unconstitutional, extrajudicial. If you ask me, the numbers of lawmakers that actually gave kudos or nodded, gave him nod for declaration of emergency in Rivers State. How many are they in numbers? Do you know that the seat of the lawmakers, when they were about endorsing it, most of the seats were vacant? That will actually tell you that he acted outside Nigerian constitution. Very, very unlawful. Yes, he has taken action in his hands, and I'm telling you that the Riverines are not happy with him, especially the Kalabari, the Okrika, the Ejo people. Fubara is commanding lots and lots of followers, though we know that it was Obi that won an election. But Fubara himself, he should be licking his wound this time around. Kama is no longer a native of India. Kama is now on a global platform, Nigerian native, other countries native. So we should always remember that retribution, nemesis, and karma awaits us anytime we involve ourselves in criminality, act of criminality, like what Wike did now. Wike rigged election, rigged Labour Party out. He forcefully put Fubara there, and today nemesis and karma has come visiting. Yes, you don't virtually blame Tinubu. Tinubu was used by force of the nation. Natural force or forces can use anybody. It has visited Wike and Fubara. Fubara actually know that he entered through the back door. He wasn't from the door post. From the exit, which is illegal. He skipped the fence. You know, he actually hurdled the fence and came in, skipping the due process. Because of what? Imam Mado. His Wike connection. Wike is the owner of Spring Court. His wife is a chief justice. That's why Fubara was forcefully, you know, made governor on a platform of PDP. At least injuring the person that the Riverines casted their vote for, the Labour Party political platform. And today, Nemesis is playing out on them.
Okay, but Fubara was declared wanted. Just yesterday, we heard that he has fled to the Biafra land. But do you not think that, why do you think that is running away from Rivers State?
Lawlessness is it. Once a governor is always a governor, and he should be very, very security conscious. Even if you are ordinary civilian now living in River State, you should be very careful, because the people who are in charge now are, you know, fierce-looking military men. There are no premonition of calmness, serenity, and peace. I think managing an atmosphere like that of the River State now, one should what? First of all, be security conscious. Let alone a governor. Once a presiding governor should always be very, very, you know, careful with security. If he lives or stays in River State, he might be unalived anytime by the militants from the stage of Wike, or militants from the state of Pandef leader, which is Asaba, or militants from the state of any political opponents. You might not know whom the person is. So anything could happen. That's why they presided, you know, the previous governor of River State, you know, took to his heel. Yes. He's been security conscious. Anything could happen. And the only place he can take let me say, solace is Igbo land, because he himself is from Opobo. Opobo land in River State are Igbos. So that's why he absconded into Biafra land. He is now a fool into exile in Biafra land. Biafra is a country on its own. And Fubara is safety on the hands of Biafra.
So nothing can happen to him. The army really want to get rid of it?
No, they cannot. They cannot. Okay, they declare him wanted.
Yes.
Meaning he has been sacked with that. Thoroughly has been sacked. And
because people are wondering, why is he running? Why, although he was locked in, you know, after, you know, Tinubu declared the suspension, but why is he now, you know, why is he wanting to run immediately?
Because of mere accusations, all those false accusations
Do you think because of financial?
No. That he blew the pipe, and again, you know, they might label false allegation against him that he mismanaged the fund of Rivers State. All along, he, you know, stayed as the governor. And if you ask me again, it is, let me say, the right decision that the governor took. After all, you can't withstand a man with guns. The whole authority is on their hands. So he ran for his dear life. No man actually hears they are going to kill him and stays. A man hears they are going to kill him and runs. It is only 3 lands they are going to kill him, stays. So what I'm trying to say is that Fubara's action is within the umbrella of natural law. You run for your dear life if threatened. But when you are a foolish man, you can stay and go to your early grave. Fubara did the normal thing because I know that Wike will pursue him from here and there, looking for money that is not lost. So Fubara took the right step to escape the federal might of 18. All the military forces are after him. The police actually has declared him wanted, I think so. And to be free from the, you know, wrath of federal government of Nigeria, I think he has to abscond. If we actually said 5 billion to me is too small. It's a chicken change. What is 5 billion naira?
And 5 billion in
yes,
damages.
Nigerian government has laws and laws to pay not only Nnamdi Kanu but the entire land of Biafra for unaliving many youths at Omoma community in Olu local government where Hope Uzodimma, the governor of Imo State, comes from. Many youths were unnecessarily, unlawfully, extrajudicially unalived by Nigerian government. So they must pay what is called compensation or reparation to Asaba people. King of Asaba today, Asaba of Asaba, has actually accused Tinubu of turning his back on Asaba people. That actually Tinubu is the one that should be held responsible if reparation, compensation is failed to pay, to be paid to Asaba people. Because Asaba people, they lost 1,000 Asaba people in 1970. After the war, Buhari commanded young military officer that killed 1,000 husbands of married women in Asaba. Today, you have 1,000 widows from 1970 till date. So King of Asaba is agitating for reparation by federal government. The federal government must pay Asaba people for Asaba massacre of 1970. Nnamdi Kanu was illegally extrajudicial rendition from Nairobi, Kenya, after he was subjected to this kind of unnecessary incarceration since 2015, making it 10 years of federal government of Nigeria illegally accusing Nnamdi Kanu of an offense he did not commit. Agitation for self-determination is allowed in America, in Australia, all over the world. So this time around, there must be a reparation, compensation, and damages to be paid. And it comes as, you know, financial incentives. They must give it to Nnamdi Kanu. 5 billion naira is too small for somebody to have wasted his 10 years being incarcerated, being wanted unnecessarily by a whole country. It is uncalled for. 5 billion naira to me, if you ask me, is 10 kobo. The kind of offense, the kind of violation, infringement, at least meted on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, worth trillions of naira. So Nigeria is going to pay him for violating him, for illegally, you know, renditioning him, humiliating him, you know, from Nairobi, Kenya into Nigeria, blindfolded, and many other deprivation Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went through. I think that man has actually received boosts and boosts of persecution and the persecution in the past by federal government of Nigeria. If we actually said 5 billion to me is too small. It's a chicken change. What is 5 billion naira? Can 5 billion naira build a house for Nnamdi Kanu? It cannot. The kind of test Mazi Nnamdi Kanu commands. He has test, man, high test. They should give him compensation in trillion. And all the youths they killed in Igbo land, extrajudicial killings in Igbo land, federal government of Nigeria is going to go family by family and make sure that they pay them money. They should pay them money. They should compensate all these families that lost their children to federal forces. Nigeria must pay. Nigeria must understand that the attention has been brought by a king in Asaba King Asaba of Asaba.
But Tinubu
Is
met
actually,
him.
yes?
He met Tinubu. Do you think that Tinubu was trying to apologize to
Yes,
him?
he met him now. He met him and he advocated for compensation. At least reparation for Biafra nation. They must actually, they must pay Asaba people because 1,000 Asaba men were mowed down with blood in 1970. And the Sonny Odogu, Asaba of Asaba, they have started making case with Tinubu that Nigeria must actually at least, pay reparation to Igbo land, to Asaba people. Because of that killings. It is illegal because the war actually have been fought. Peace has been at least made between Ojukwu and the federal troop. They actually sealed it off and Ojukwu absconded into Gabon, firstly before diverting to Côte d'Ivoire. Why the shooting of 1970 of 1,000 Asaba men? Don't you know that Nigeria is a crazy country? And that king of Asaba that has begun to make this case is on the right track. If care is not taken, that man is going to up to ICC, International Criminal Court, to sue Nigeria, and Nigeria will actually arrest Buhari to take care of the crime he committed against the Igbos in 1970. 1,000 women in Asaba were made widow by Buhari, a colonel then in the army. I think reparation is actually accepted and it is the right word. If Nigerian court or justice fails to give the Igbos, the Asaba people, the fair hearing, I think Asaba people can still go to ICC. It is everybody's individual's right. Yes, to go to ICC. ICC is an institution headed by somebody, human being, not to spirit. So, no fear, nothing. Nothing could actually scare the king, Asaba of Asaba, from taking it further to ICC if Nigerian justice or judiciary fails to do Igbo man justice in that context.
Okay, but it was alleged that Justice Omotosho is a close ally or friend to Yoson Wike, and it was reported that even Wike allegedly gave him some piece of land recently, and at the same time they feel that Omotosho will favor the Nigerian government as regards Nnamdi Kanu case, and it's also reported that Omotosho from findings that he hasn't given a really good judgment of recently.
No, I know that Omotosho coming from Yoruba axis, prompted Tinubu to employ him to, handle Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. And originally we know whom Yoruba man is to the Igbo man. There's no love at all. Yoruba man doesn't have passion to favor Igbo man. All they know about Igbo man is to extort Igbo man, collect house rent, collect chop rent, seize their lands, high up land use, and the other unnecessary crazy taxations. And it's going to play out because Omotosho, let me tell you, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu actually reconciled with them yesterday. And it was the federal government that brought about that pact or agreement between the two legal councils, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and the federal government legal council. But I don't have hope or faith on Omotosho. Omotosho is a Yoruba man. Justice Omotosho is a Yoruba man. Yoruba man can change anytime. So how can you tell me that Nnamdi Kanu will have hope on Omotosho for what? Yoruba man being a Yoruba man can change. Omotosho can never have hope. We can never have hope or rely on Omotosho. Are we not living in Nigeria? Why should you tell me that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is now having... No! Kanu will never have hope there. One is that Omotosho is a chief justice, a friend, good friend of Nyesom Wike. And you know the reason why they brought him is to rubbish this case. That's why he's trying to start afresh. But all I know is that if he comes and mess up, Nnamdi Kanu will bring him down. I rely on him. Kanu is Okwadike, one of Igbo land. Kanu is Okwadike, one of Igbo land. If Omotosho tries it to start this case afresh by overstretching it, I think Kanu will bring him to order because he knows law more than him. Omotosho is just a graduate of LASU. Where did he go to school? So they can just actually assume justice, son, because of their connection. None of them want it. These are people that actually go to the library and steal somebody's project and submit. If that guy goes attitude test, you will actually find out that Malami is better off. Now I'm telling you the truth because it's written all over their faces. Malami was the man who was Attorney General of Federation when Nnamdi Kanu was illegally rendition. So Malami has actually dragged his legal credentials on poto and dust. Malami is not supposed to be an attorney general of a federation of a nation. That was what Justice Kelechi of Canada said. Malami's prestige, legal legacy is gone. When Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya. Do you know that they are the hope of common man? They are the one that will interpret our constitutionalities for you. You will understand the law. But these people are the ones that are flouting the law, violating the law, and rubbish your rights. So what I'm trying to say is that Omoto Cho, I don't have hope in him. That is me for you. And I don't think Onyendu will have any reason to have hope or faith in Omoto Cho. Omoto Cho is a Yoruba man. You can't predict a Yoruba man.
You can't predict a Yoruba.
Yes.
But you know, from what he says, he said Nnamdi Kanu that he will not feel bad because Nnamdi Kanu has been on this case for over 10 years.
Yes, over 10 years. That's why they are paying him. They must pay him for damages. 10 years for nothing. 10 years for someone's right. Omoto Cho must do the justice. If failure to do that, Nnamdi Kanu will rubbish him. That's why everybody distance, and we are watching two of them. Omoto Cho is not well learned, more learned than Nnamdi Kanu. Knowledge, education, intelligence, wisdom. Are you listening to me? Is not by mouth. You know the man is a Yoruba man. They will write. He finished law, LLBC, LLEC, London, blah, 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 blah. Or all those ones in a paper. When you see a man talk, you will know the content of his head. It is not when you see somebody writing, talking. Let us put it on experiment or demonstration. Omoto Cho is who? Who knows him? All these are kangaroo justices. Okay, look at Binta and Yako now. How could a chief justice have fraudulent case hanging on her neck? Don't you know that she was a disgrace? And actually, she was disgraced out of Kanu's case. Kanu pursued him, he ran away. I don't really understand. So the next person to give Woto now is Omoto Cho. He go to see Woto.
But it was reported that any judge that took up this case is just trying to dirty his name because
I'm telling you, because
Kanu doesn't have any case to
answer now.
But do you not think they'll keep adjourning this case?
They will keep adjourning it now. But I'm trying to say an end to it very soon because the agreement they had yesterday actually spells climax of this case is very, very fast approaching. It is going to be hard May, April 29th and May. Let me say May, April and May. That is the last time Nnamdi Kanu is going to court. I'm telling you. Because if they protract it more than that, people, I think Tinubu will run. Because patience, we are running out of patience. You can't be handling Igbo man like that. Igbo man is not a slave. We are well educated. We are not thieves. It is Yoruba and Fulani that are stealing our money in Nigeria. So you can't be just, troubling somebody that is righteous in all his doings. These people, they have stolen enough now. So they didn't to leave Nnamdi Kanu to go. If they thief our money, he's still holding Nnamdi too. You know that they thief somebody, they thief him, still they worry him now. Now what he wants? I think it is right time for Omoto Cho to do the needful, or else he will receive what? Woto. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will bring him down. That's it.